All right, we're live.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to start us off. Welcome to WooBuilt. I'm Matt. This is Juma. And we are getting into a new podcast that we're going to like to start up to talk about, really whatever comes to our minds. Mainly it's going to be fitness and health and lifestyle oriented. Before we get into things, though, I just want to shout out Atlantic Athletics. This is the gym that we're filming in right now. And I'm currently a trainer here. If you guys, anyone watching this is interested in the gym, it's a small CrossFit gym. Website is AtlanticAthleticsClub.com. And there, that's all I really wanted to shout out. Juma, introduce yourself.
So, my name's Juma, originally from Leominster, Mass. Funny story with me and Matt, actually, after a couple years after high school, I actually didn't go to college right away, but eventually I went to community college here in Worcester in Quincy. Eventually transferred in, and that's kind of where I met Matt on the soccer team.
Yeah, like Juma said, we met on the soccer team at Becker College. I went there for all 4 years, just graduated this past year. Got a degree in exercise science. I've just been doing some personal training, class training here at Atlantic, over at Orange Theory.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, kind of what I wanted to start off with this in this podcast was just in general in fitness. Like, what kind of made you just go into it? Like, what kind of made your decision in getting on this degree and just personal journey in fitness?
Oh man. That's a weird one because when I originally went to Becker's a big tech school, big in game design and stuff, and I originally went for programming. Did that for a semester. Was kind of like, man, I can't sit at a computer all day and just have that be my life.
Yeah, nah.
So luckily, going into college, my second choice in degree path was either exercise science or marine biology, which was kind of,
Oh, that's interesting.
kind of weird way to go because
Never heard that one before.
I came to Becker. I was looking at Salve Regina for the marine biology program.
There you go.
Yeah, something brought me to Becker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, after I figured out that programming stuff wasn't for me, I went into exercise science, loved it. I've been playing soccer all my life, so it was kind of like a little icing on the cake for the degree because I've been passionate about soccer my whole life, and really going into the science of training, bettering yourself physically was kind of a dope path to go down.
That's nice. So, like, I figured, so through the soccer, you just kind of went like, I really enjoy this, and you kind of figured from then, I definitely want to do this with other people, such as training and just developing the body. It's a great thing, man, especially when you got to stay healthy and shit in general, but on top of sports along with it, it's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, we could definitely talk with experience about not being the healthiest on the field.
Yeah, talking about 2 injuries fucking mid-season, but hey, it happens to the best of us sometimes, and we just gotta cope with it and do as best as you can to just get back on and stay as healthy as possible. But
yeah, my sophomore year was the first year I really dealt with some crazy shit in that sense of not being. I'm not too sure to classify it more as being physically unprepared or kind of just being like that mentally kind of stupid in my younger years. My sophomore year, I tore my hamstring. Pretty serious tear. It wasn't a muscle tear, it was actually the tendon that pulled off the bone up at the top of my hamstring. And I think it wasn't necessarily because I was under-conditioned. I think it was because I went for a sprint right off the beginning of the game without being completely warmed up.
Fuck, that's some Marco shit, man.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you're just running, you hear that kind of snap, and you're like, okay, there goes my season, and that was my sophomore year.
Calling for the trainer.
Yeah,
trainer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we could definitely,
Marco,
we could
bro.
definitely, yeah, we could definitely shout out, Jesus, shout out Marco. We had my junior year, your sophomore year, right? Freshman, yeah, technically freshman
Yeah.
year. We had this
Thanks.
goalie, this English goalie. Man was a dog of a keeper. He was
Yeah.
good.
Inspirational quotes. Halftime,
Yeah.
before, and after.
Yeah, guy straight from Britain. You know that classic out the
It's crazy to
accent.
think to get him from. I know he moved like what to Maryland, and then came down and found Becker.
Did he? I think he was planning on going to Syracuse actually,
Yeah.
and then
But
something didn't work out there. I think the coach got canned,
yeah.
and luckily he knew our assistant coach, and that's what brought him up here.
Yeah, but that's something, man. Getting a man from Britain here to come to Becker.
Yeah.
Don't get that often. But
That was it was wild. Man didn't have the best hairline, but hey.
yeah, should have asked me to find his barber, man. Would have cleaned them up. Speaking of barbers, though, I need to find one soon. Just kidding. Got my boy Ray down in frickin'. Where's this place at? I forgot. But Ray Morales, childhood friend, best barber in Fitchburg, man. Check him out.
Yeah, I used to go down to Goodfellas over. Man, I don't even know the street. It's
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
even know
really
how to
too sure of
explain
the
it.
street too, and a lot of people suggested it to me, especially
Yeah.
during my first year at
Yeah.
Becker. But
Yeah,
I
don't
was
get me
just-
wrong. I'm not here to bash on Goodfellas. I've had a few
Yeah.
good cuts there, but I don't know. I've had a few interesting haircuts there, but just recently
Interesting.
I moved over to a barbershop, Dana's Barbershop. It's right on Star Boulevard,
Dana.
Gold Star Boulevard. And
Yeah, shout out to Dana.
shit, I went there once, cleaned me up nice, so
That's
I'm
nice.
probably
that's
gonna
nice.
keep going there.
Yeah, my kind of go-to during the semesters were just, all right, let me find a local barber. And I tell you, man, like it was rough. Some think I was Spanish. And it's like try to give me a Spanish
Wait, people thought you were
haircut.
Spanish.
Yeah, I remember one practice when we had for indoor, and we had that. It was an indoor session, and I think you even called me out. You said, "Oh, your hair and the sides are like oily or leaking." They put that because
That sounds like something I would say, honestly.
they put that because usually for Spanish, like that will give them the color, and it's like I'm just. I'm just black. I don't need any of that stuff. It's just gonna grow back. Like I don't have natural straight hair.
I'm just, what can I say? I'm just black.
Half the time, you probably couldn't understand me, so I couldn't even ask for my specific cut. And it's just like, man, like,
Yeah, it's
rough, man.
going to a new barber is always weird.
Yeah.
It's always because I
Let
feel
alone
like
you're cheating on your freaking barber.
Yeah.
Sorry to all my barbers previously, but
yeah, it's definitely strange because back when I lived in Connecticut, I went to the same dude all throughout high school. Always knew, like I would walk in and he knew exactly what I wanted, and man, did he give a mean haircut. Like never in my life will I probably ever find a barber like that again. Like even throughout college, I would still make that drive down from up here at Becker, that hour and 30 drive down to my barber down in Connecticut.
shit, that's worse than mine. Freaking
He'd clean
over
you up.
here living in Hadley, Mass. Driving down just to get a workout and software sessions, but shit.
What? So you said you're working with a new trainer guy. What's his name?
Yeah, so his name's Jerry, and I pretty much known him most of my my career in soccer. So let's say I started getting into soccer around like freshman year of high school, and around it was towards the end of freshman year, going into sophomore year, where I really just started like I didn't know what to do. Like I was just fit because most of my life I just I did cross country. Because my dad did that most of his life. And there was just a moment where I was just like, I always liked a team. I always wanted to be in part of a team, you know, and in running it's, yeah, sure, you can rack up the points with a team, but at the end of the day, it's individual. And I remember one of my friends telling me, hey, like, I always see you around here, man. You might as well try it. Got my first pair, forgot where. It had to be like something like...
Wait, so how old were you when you got into soccer?
Let's see, freshman year.
Jesus, that late? In high school?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I've been playing since I've been fucking 4 years old.
Yeah, dude, fucking started off like freshman, sophomore year, and remember just grind. Like, first I was just hustling, so everyone respected that, you know, but for skills, I didn't really have much. And I remember every time outside of my apartment complex in Leominster, I would always just step outside, grab a ball, just juggle. single leg most of the time. I could even do double. And it's just crazy thinking about it now. Just like, I would even just do one bounce, tap, one bounce, get 2 taps. Like, it's insane. I was doing that in the streets, in the parking lot. And I remember just as I developed more and more, it just started to improve and at a fast rate. Like, I'm not even trying to say that to be cocky, but like, I really like...
Well, like, no kidding, because like, me from watching you as a player now, I would never guess you started freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Like, I shit, you know, I started when I was 4 years old. And in my opinion, I don't think I would be where I'm at today if I didn't start that young.
Yeah. And like, when I tell people that too, like, not only you, it's just like when people, even during high school especially, when in around sophomore year I started JV, and then I got brought up to like varsity during like the playoff run and stuff, but like I was still like, you know, still like skill level wasn't there to like
dude, that's
expected, but like, yeah,
that makes me feel like shit about myself.
Nah, don't even,
because like we're on the same level. Like, there's no denying, like, me and you are very competitive together.
Yeah. And so like I remember even telling people like around that time, they were like, yo, how old are you? Or like, they were just like, when did you start? And I'm like, yeah, I started around freshman, sophomore year. And they're like, crazy. The first time I ever even tried club soccer was junior year. And I remember, like, you know, you get the little introduction when you're going to a new team. And
because you played on the Stars, right? FC Stars.
No, I played United, FC United, first around here. Okay. And it's actually funny because, like, I didn't really go to Worcester here a lot. But yeah, every time coming down to practice here in Worcester and Abbey Kelly Fields, like, I just remember like introduction and everyone saying like how you say it, playing youth and stuff like that. And I remember it came up to me and I said, yeah, I started my freshman, sophomore year. And like, it wasn't much because it was just like tryouts. Everyone mostly knew each other. It was just kind of like me and 2 other guys from Leominster. Like, Arthur was one of them, and then another friend named Daryl. And it's just crazy thinking about it now because it's just like, shit, like, I developed, like, even during then, I was developing more of my skill, and I gotten better and better. But shit. Yeah.
That's crazy. When I started soccer, like, as you guys can probably tell, neither of us are the tallest of guys. But
don't let the camera fool you. But.
Yeah, when I was younger, like, I was small, like, especially when you're talking like, you know, those years, the 4, 5, 6, you know.
Yeah.
When I started soccer, I was 4, and in my town you had to be 5 to register into the rec leagues.
Yeah.
And for some reason I was just like, I want to play soccer. So my parents somehow got me registered into that league. And playing rec soccer, and I was running out on the field, and the jerseys they had were meant for kids older than me, obviously.
Yeah.
But I was such a small kid, so the shirt I have on, my mom has pictures of me running with a shirt that's down to my knees,
looking like a dress out here.
My shin guards were the size of my whole bottom portion of my leg, all the way covering my shin. I'm just looking like a goof, but like
those are the best moments when you look back, because you're just like, You wouldn't even notice. You couldn't even tell. You didn't even care.
Back in those days where I excelled.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought up the age part too, because in United I was actually trying out for the U18, and I think I was still either 16 or 17 around the age, so I was kind of just trying out on the team, and they said, hey, if you don't make it here, like, we can obviously look for the coach or underneath to have you on the team there. And after that, there was no words said. They just kind of kept me on the team, and it's like, just thinking, like, first year club, like, sure, my hustle's there, like, skills getting better, and it's just like, just kept me on the team just cause, and it's just like, shit, like, from there, it's just like, kind of like, I didn't really think of, like, much, like, even going ahead after it. Like, at that moment, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm getting better, so, like, all right, let me see what club's all about, you know? And definitely gives you a perspective of different levels, like, so let's say, from high school to club and stuff, you know? Some people would be like, yeah, like, club, high school, either one, like, you know, you can grind and be better, but, like, it's still good to experience that level just because, like, you meet so many people around and you just never know, like, what experiences they have, especially, like, when you bring that all together in a team. It's like now you get to see, like, every different playing style, how coaches are, you know what I mean, what kind of intensity you need to really take over and dominate a game.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I never swapped club teams that often, so
yeah.
Growing up, I probably had, like, in my lifetime, I've probably had, like, 8 coaches. Mm-hmm. And that's not too much considering from how young I started.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, talking about the levels thing. Like, when I was, I think I started in 8th grade, going up to my sophomore year in high school, I played on ODP. And for the people who don't know what ODP is, it's like, it's almost like, it's the national program, but it's broken down into the, you know, state programs. So ODP is just like, you play for your state.
Yeah.
You can get invited into the regional pool, national pool. I never even came fucking close to getting into the regional pool. So don't think I'm sitting here gassing myself up because I played ODP.
Yeah.
Because back when I was playing, when I was younger, like, it was almost like you were almost guaranteed to get invited to the tournament teams. It was cool. It was like actually like playing on a smaller scale national team. Like, there was just because you went to the practices didn't mean you were guaranteed a spot on one of the teams that went to the tournaments.
Gotcha.
So I was playing 8th grade, freshman year, sophomore year, and I think freshman year of high school is when the tournament started getting, you know, started up for that age group.
Yeah.
And you would go to, like, I remember there would be a New Jersey tournament and a Virginia tournament every year, and you would go and you would play. And the Connecticut team I was on was disgusting. We went undefeated 2 years in a row.
Fuck yeah.
We had 5 kids who went to the regional pool, and one of them went into the national pool. I'm not sure if he ever got national team play at that age group, but either way, they were disgusting. Like,
yeah, for sure.
We played like a 4-game tournament in Virginia, and we probably had a goal differential of like fucking 30, you know, something outrageous. Just because that one national team striker we had who would score like 6 goals a game, and it was like completely unfair.
That's insane, man.
But this one kid, one of the boys on that team, he was a center mid at the time. I think he is still playing center mid. He just got drafted in the MLS draft. I want to say somewhere around round 40 to the Columbus Crew. His name's Danny Larinetto.
Yeah.
He was nasty back then, and he's obviously nasty now.
Hard work pays off, man.
Yeah, he went to Providence College.
Yeah, I know a couple guys. I mean,
kid was nasty.
What year was it? Like, what year did he usually graduate?
Yeah, same as me.
Oh, same as you?
Yeah, so he just graduated this past year, went to the combine. Yeah. Columbus Crew was like, yeah, we'll take that kid. Fuck, dude, can you imagine?
Yeah, dude. Dude, but it's like, just even sports in general, like, just like you said, Providence College, I had a good fellow person that was known back in my hometown named Fabio, and he finished off his year there at Providence. I think they went to I want to say Final Four, and he was good, bro. He was outrageously good from high school on, but.
Oh, well, hold on. Before I preface that, Danny Larinetto was one of the kids who made it to regional pool. It was the kid's name is Danny Griffin. There were two fucking Danny's on that team. I was definitely Danny Griffin. That's the fucking name, because that's a fucking
yeah. But
there we go.
Yeah, so like, good, man, and he got same thing as you, got invited to the combine and stuff, and you can correct me if he ever sees this or whether I'm wrong or right, but I'm pretty sure like he had an injury, and
it's tough. Yeah,
that set him back, and that's just the thing with sports, man. It's like you can have so much drive, or you can just be grinding your years each year, man. But you just never know like what could happen, and something like that can just.
Yeah, I think that's a big part these days now. That I think it's getting out more that like. You need to have the drive on the field, but you also have to have the drive off the field. Like if you don't have the drive off the field too to prep your body for some of the hours you're going to be putting in, especially at like the college level, like your body's just not going to take it if you don't prep yourself for it.
Yeah, and that includes getting your meals, getting your sleep,
getting those damn workouts in,
and just. It's really just filling your body with the right stuff, because you have something wrong or it can throw you off so easily. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like that was kind of like my thing with when I came on to Becker. Like when I just had to be introduced to like even just having trainers or just just daily check-ins. And just even like meals throughout the day, like you really have to figure out your schedule, like from just like whatever classes you have. We got to make sure you get your meals in, and then just setting your times and being like, all right, my focus is on this, like, and then once like you get all your focus in, try to get like another small portion in, get to your practice, and then from there, like you still got to be on top of your work and.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And school, like.
Yeah, all the D-bags that are always like, yo, I'm a college athlete. Like, oh yeah, but it's some shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I hate being that person that's like, I was a college athlete, I had no time in college. But like, it's true. Like, the point I realized it the most is like, when you're in season, like, you're always going. Like, if it's, you're going to classes, you're going to get lunch. You got to wake up early, eat your breakfast.
Yeah.
Go to your classes, eat lunch, go to more classes. You're out. You're immediately going to practice. Then you're going back and you're grinding homework. And then by the time you're done with that, it's like 9 o'clock and you're just back to bed and rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and I'm over here saying this like I ain't no saint. Like,
yeah,
I was whatever we're saying right now, bro. We did not do like me coming in. Tell you something, bro. Like, getting to classes was probably the hardest part. Like, for me, like think of okay. Before even Becker, I had a 30-minute commute to my community college, which is right by here. Like, Quincy is not too far from Becker, since Becker. Well, there are how many, like 6 colleges here?
Yeah.
So me living like commuting to 30 minutes to my community college, that was even easy as it was. Like, had to get up. You always have that traffic because most people are heading towards there anyways, and whether a class signing up for like 8 a.m.s. or like 9, probably have to stay like an hour in between and to get to your last class. And like that, even that wasn't easy. But like when I transferred to Becker, man, and just experiencing that dorm life, especially like just having your own place. Man, time management is really like key.
Yeah.
Really key, because having those classes, then just and the best part about Becker, you find out there's 2 campuses, which I never knew from the start, but figured that out soon enough. And
well, yeah, that's an easy thing to find out though. The second you get there, you know there's 2 campuses.
yeah, like I was set off to Leicester when I was because they had what was this? Is it student athlete day before?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
So I was introduced to the Leicester campus, and I remember when they mentioned, because that's where they were gonna have my room at the Worcester campus. So when I heard Worcester, I was like, this isn't the only campus here. Like this.
That's what's crazy too. The fact that there are some colleges like the Leicester campus, like it's a nice campus, but it's small.
It is.
But there's some colleges that are smaller than that Leicester campus alone, and like the Worcester campus is pretty good sized.
Yeah, and it's just like it said Worcester. I was like, all right, I don't know where this is at Worcester at all. Like, so had a couple teammates helping me through this all. Shout out to Kobe and Panda. But
Kobe, bro.
yeah, first dudes I met, I went through the financial aid. They set me up to where my hall was, and yeah, from there it's just kind of like, all right, I gotta move all my stuff in here, figure out where my classes are. Thank God, my first semester I didn't have Worcester to Leicester.
Yeah, I had my freshman year. My freshman year was a mess because I had one class on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and it was an 8 a.m. class, and it was only a 45-minute class. So me being the tough ass I thought I was like, it's only one class, 8 a.m. I wake up, I roll out of bed, I go to that class for 45 minutes, and I can come back and go right to bed.
Yeah, if only that was the truth, man.
Yeah, so my ass was staying up late. I'm not declassifying anything here, but I was staying up late every what was it? Every Sunday night, every Tuesday night, every Thursday night. I was like, shit, I got one class tomorrow.
You're naming the nights, man.
And we would be up so late in that dorm all those nights because I was like, roll out of bed. The class I was at was a block away, so I could literally wake up 5 minutes before the class, roll out, sit in the back of the classroom, chill, not do a thing.
Yeah.
Because that was it? I can't remember what class it was. It was a math class. I'm not sure which one it was. I think it was pre-calc, maybe calc. I don't know.
Maybe
one of those. And I don't like to toot my own horn, but math classes like physics, the algebras, calc, never really a tough class for me, so
yeah,
it wasn't that bad. So I knew I could always
can't say the same.
Yeah, I always knew I could roll into that class and just pretty much sleep through it, sit in the back of the class. You know who was in that class? Jake, Frank, and Devin. And I think no, Devin wasn't in. Devin was in my algebra class. It was Jake, Frank, and Jackson.
Oh, the boys.
Yeah, and we would always just chill in the back, not do shit the whole class.
I can only imagine. Man started off with Jake Frank. Shout out to Jake Frank, man. Love you, kid.
Man, yeah. For those of you who don't know, Jake Franklin was he got kicked off the team the year that Juma played, my junior year, your freshman year. This man would say the craziest shit. There was one game we were also Becker was never really the best school for
we're not hyping it up.
You can look up our records. You're not going to be impressed.
You just know from there.
Yeah. One game we're getting smacked at halftime. It was probably, what game was it? Do you remember you know what game I'm talking about, when he came off the sideline and he's telling everyone, I feel like I'm the only one busting my ass out here.
Was it a night game or a day?
No, it was a day.
It had to be Regis.
No, because it was home.
Oh, no.
I don't think we've ever played Regis home.
Yeah, we played him away.
Thank God. I would never want to get smacked by Regis in front of our home crowd.
But it had to be, damn. I forgot what team.
I honestly want to say it was like Leslie or something.
Hot day.
It was a hot day. It was
we had
on the weekend.
Breaks on water breaks. Yeah.
Either way, this man Jake comes off the field during halftime. We're down like 3-0.
Yeah.
And he comes off the field. He goes, "Why is no one else busting their ass? I feel like I'm the only one who wants to win." And everyone just looks around like, what? And then like 2 days later, the coach kicks him off the team.
Fucking nuts, man.
Jake was a great kid. I love Jake.
I'll never understand the kickoff, to be honest, to one of our top scorers, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Regardless of the excuses, hey, he still got our goals, so.
Yeah, no. That season sucked because our first goal was against Fitchburg that year, and I assisted Jake, and it was like we got that assist. I was like, "Yo, let's go!"
Yeah,
like Jake's working his ass off.
Fitchburg, man.
We played Fitchburg well we've played Fitchburg well the past 2 years actually.
Yeah.
It's
just funny, just because it's like right next to my hometown, so it's just like just hearing it in the freaking lineup and being like Juma from Leominster, and it's just like yeah. Went all the way to Worcester to play.
I'm home, baby.
Yeah, seriously, it's kind of like that, but fuck, man. Those are the days.
Yeah, honestly. Looking back on it, my old ass. 1 year graduated.
Old. Funny thing is, I'm older than him, bro.
Yeah.
About to turn 23 in like, today's the 8th, so like in 6 days, man. Shit.
Yeah, shit, you close.
Wait, is it 6 days?
Yeah,
6 days. Yeah, 6 days.
Yeah, today's the 8th.
Wait, no. I'm
Did
bugging.
it? Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Today's the 8th.
No, it's the 8th. It's in 8 days.
I thought your birthday was
14th. Yeah, 8 days. 8 plus 8.
No, you're fucking stupid.
Bro. Oh, 16?
You're 6, bro. You're...
Woo! Yo, something about this water.
Yeah, welcome to math class. Get this kid back.
Yeah, I told you, bro. Bro. Man's talking about calculus. I can't even do fucking...
I hate that whenever someone, like, says that they're wrong at something, and you're like, wait, like, am I wrong too? Like, what's going on here? Something as simple as fucking 8 plus 6, dude.
Oh man, it's about to be an interesting time coming back to fucking finish off my degree, man. It's gonna be an interesting time. But I'll get there eventually.
Dude, the online classes at the end of this last semester, I feel so bad for anyone who's like going through college right now and they're still doing that online class bullshit.
Not right now, but
oh my god, my classes I was taking, like there were some that were fine, but I was taking an online history class this past semester.
Oh my god,
and
man, it said history. Jesus.
Yeah, I needed like half a credit more to graduate, and I was like, shit, just throw me in a damn history class. Like I can at least it's something that's kind of interesting.
One of you guys, you and Fez were talking about, right? Like towards the end, joining.
Oh no, that was the semester before that. That was when me, Pat, and Fez were all in. Me and my two of my other roommates were in a history class, and that shit was funny because the teacher was like, the professor there was actually like really passionate about history, so it was cool to learn from him.
Hey, that's always the best way.
Yeah,
teacher is passionate about something,
but
they're doing their job and loving their job.
He got us through like half of the curriculum we were supposed to get through, which was funny because that was American History 1, and I'm trying to remember. We were supposed to. I'm not sure where we were supposed to get up to, but we didn't even like. Do you know much about American history?
A little bit.
A little bit. So, I always made the joke to my roommate Pat, and I was always like, my favorite part about American history is learning about the railroads, like when all the railroads were made, the transcontinental railroads, and that shit was. I loved learning about that, but for some reason we got nowhere near that in that, and that's not too. That's like
it's not too. Yeah.
That's not too like recent. That's a while ago. Like I don't know my timeline, but I'm not good at the dates. But like that's a pretty recent or not too recent thing, and we didn't even make it to there. So then I went into U.S. history too.
Yeah.
And we're at like the 1950s, and I'm like, dude, I don't even think we made it to the 1900s in my other history class. So I was like, I was all over the place.
Huge fucking
jump. And it was an online class, and this professor was just giving out. He was like, here, read this, do this essay, and I was like, sick. Like I love reading a book. Sometimes that's how it
be, bro. Sometimes that's how it really be.
The online class, like I said, I feel bad for anyone.
I don't want to fucking do it.
Online classes. It's just not the same, like, listening to a professor, like, actually lecture you.
Yeah, and it's like, I understand, like, you know, during the social media age, like, we're moving towards more technology, but it's like, dude, I'm always gonna be the black chalk. yeah. Fucking 1 plus fucking 1, hopefully I can do it. But, you know, like, I've always been like hands-on 1v1 teacher. If I got a question, like I'll ask. If I got to stay after school, like I gotta ask. Now I gotta send out an email to. It's ridiculous, man. Like, you know, like it's not for everybody. Like.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that because like I don't know how people go to these huge universities. Like me and Caroline went down to Florida this past summer and visited her cousin who goes to U Miami.
There you go.
And dude, like I would not be able to survive there. Because you're literally in a city just filled with college kids. Like I'm not gonna lie, I like you said before, I was no saint my first few years in college. And now put yourself in a scale like literally like 10 times bigger than what Becker is, dude. Hell no. I would not have survived. And I knew that from the start. I was like, I don't want to go to a big university.
Yeah, I've always been like a small college, you know, just...
Yeah, I'd rather be in a small community, be more in touch with the professors you're learning from.
Because... For being no saints, man.
Yeah.
You get me to a decent populated college, man. Classes.
It's just such a different
classes.
Like, dude, I literally felt like I was in culture shock walking through U Miami. Like the facilities there.
Yeah, you're a tourist.
Exactly.
You're out here being a tourist, and you're actually a student. Mm. Yeah, see how well that goes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it was mental. Don't get me wrong, U Miami, like that campus was beautiful. Like their gym, dude, oh my god. I walked into their gym and I was like, I'm in heaven. They had every machine under the sun.
Not the only part, right?
We'll cut that part.
Yeah,
No, but I kid you not, dude. They had this little like section. They had this little gym split off from the other gym, where it was called like the Storm Zone or something stupid like that. And it was all like monkey bars. It was like an American Ninja Warrior training course, like that kind of thing. Like all like grip stuff, all hanging like monkey bars and like have you ever watched American Ninja Warrior?
No, yeah, of course.
Like the balls that are hanging, you gotta grab onto just those with your grip string. Like it was awesome.
That's great.
The Storm Zone. I think that's. Did I just fucking say that?
Maybe.
I think it was called the Storm Zone, but like it was sick. And then they had a basketball court on the second floor that had an indoor track that went around the top of it. And like, dude, I don't know. Out here at Becker, we just have a turf field.
I know that you gotta drive to if you're in Worcester.
Yeah. Hey, I respect it. I got my knowledge and I got my learning. Got my degree.
Yeah, still got a couple more years, man, but hey, slow and steady, right? So, other than that, you know, going from Connecticut to Worcester, how was that kind of like?
Oh boy, you want to get into some shit. That's how I grew up in a small town in Burlington, Connecticut. Anyone that knows probably fucking knowing those because who knows where fucking Burlington is, dude. It's it was like a small town. I can't remember, like, 30,000 people in it, like real small. 30 to 60,000, something like that. I don't know. I might be completely off on that number, but small town. What was cool though was huge soccer town. The best sport in our town was soccer by far. Man, so I grew up in the right place.
That's fucking awesome.
You know, shit happens for a reason. So that was pretty dope. But small town, middle of nowhere, so rural that, you know, coming to the city, I was like, wow, like this is, people live here, like this is crazy. So like I don't know why, like I was drawn to the city. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I like this. Like,
yeah, man,
it's cool to get a change.
It really is, yeah.
Like I said, I grew up on top of a mountain, on a farm, like on farmlands, driving by cows instead of high rises and shit.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like, I always loved the wilderness, not really the wilderness. I just liked playing in the woods when I was younger. Like, I used to love catching snakes and crazy shit, turtles.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah. I grew up a redneck, that's for damn sure. But, not in that sense.
Hey, nah, go ahead. Let's continue.
But yeah, but on that point, a lot of racist shit came out of that town, dude. I'm not gonna deny it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anyone's name out here, but there was
paint a nice picture over.
There was an incident at U-Heart where, let's just say, a racist girl did some borderline hate crimes to her black roommate. I think it made national television. Girl got kicked out, obviously.
Yeah. And
like after reading the news article for 2 seconds, I was like, oh my god, this bitch grew up in went to my high school with me. Like fucking, yeah, Burlington, born to breed racism, growing up in a town, you know, with, you know, absolutely no diversity.
Jeez, bro.
So.
But hey, Martin Luther King made this up.
Yes, sir.
Go, dude. But
yeah, you grew up in, where'd you grow up? You grew up right here, right?
Leominster, so it's like 30 minutes away. And to be honest, like, Leominster isn't really too, like, big of a place either. Like, you got your north, downtown, and then south. And realistically, there's not much places to go around that place. So, you know, you would have your usual, like, bare minimum mall, you know.
Yeah, see, my downtown was a CVS.
Yeah.
There was a CVS and a Cumberland Farms. That's what Burlington considered downtown.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
You know, like, decent downtown. I guess that would probably be the most place where you could do stuff. Like, but like mainly our park with Doyle, and you know, with Doyle, it actually gone through some changes because like, right now it's definitely one of, like, not to brag, but definitely one of the best turf places to play soccer, football, like, because Leominster actually invested money into, like, building that stadium, so it's actually really legit down there. But before, it used to be grass, like, everything used to be grass, like, top part, lower part, and, like, you know, from the football players having their cleats through us at the top field having our cleats run down, like, that field, both fields took a real beating, you know. Yeah. It was rough during the days, but then later on, like, once we invested in that turf, and you know, soccer players still had their top field, but like once in a while, once we scheduled through like other teams practices, be able to like maneuver and, you know, sometimes get time in the turf. But like, just in general, like, compared to going from Leominster to Worcester, like just really knowing like how like so much places around here, like, for me it was like, this is sick. Like, I've only come to Worcester to maybe play around with some soccer players here, or just go to like Four Kicks or you know, as I said earlier, like FC United training, you know, at Abbey Kelly. But when I really just got to really know around Worcester, kind of like some spots down low. You know, I think I think we all know a couple spots down low, but yeah, and then just even going down to Leicester, getting really to see kind of like downtown and both sides, kind of like the back way heading towards Leicester, or like going through Worcester and just experiencing, like, got some tattoo shops, got bars, barber shops, like, not to mention I'm pretty sure it's like 6 colleges, you know, and it's just like, it's just incredible to me just realizing like there's so much going around that you don't even realize. Like, it's insane, man. Hell, even tattoos, bro. First year. Woo! Got this bad boy. Not gonna say it was planned, but this shit's cool, bro. So.
Damn. Yeah.
Oh. But anyways, just kind of like going more onto it. Fuck. Any throughout like kind of like your soccer career, like any coach like really stood out, or any like
don't even get me started. So like I had such a wide range of coaching styles. I'll get back to that. Like the one that left the biggest imprint on me is that like that's what kind of you're getting at.
Yeah, for sure.
So my high school coach, freshman year, I did that stupid thing where you float between varsity JV.
Yeah.
Even though I would play varsity and I would do perfectly fine, they were just like, "Nah, go play JV."
No, yeah,
go
same,
play JV.
same with me.
Shit on JV kids.
Not to even rash with you, just because like sure, like even if I was only 1 year, like still same.
So, for some reason, every time I played varsity freshman year, any game I played on the varsity team, the coach would hype me up. He would say shit like, "Hills is the most technical player out of all the freshmen. He might be one of the most technical players on the team," and like people would get pissed off. And like, you know how petty some of those kids are on high school teams, where like they make that joke. They're like, "Oh, you're the most technical player on the team," and I'm like, like, shut up. It's not my fault the coach is dick riding me for some reason. But then like somehow it all changed. Like, sophomore year, I got less playing time on varsity than I did freshman year, but I was full varsity sophomore year.
Yeah.
Didn't get much playing time. Like, I subbed in every game, but like still like I'm getting subbed in for like the last 20 minutes. Junior year, same bullshit, and then senior year, I'm finally starting every game. Scored 9 goals, 7 assists.
Yeah.
Didn't get shit for awards.
Yeah,
which is whatever.
Tell you something about that, yeah.
Because you know how it is. High school soccer is all like, if you don't do good your sophomore year, you're not getting an award your junior year. If you do good your junior year, you get an award your senior year. Yeah. And I only did good in my senior year because my senior year was the only year I really played.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, so I didn't,
I understand completely, man.
Don't get me wrong. I loved my high school coach. He was an awesome dude. You know. In preference, I feel like, I don't like to say this often, but I feel like I had every right to be starting on that team from at least junior year.
Yeah.
But, so, like, I loved him. He wasn't the most, like, technical coach. He wasn't really there. Like, I don't feel like I grew much as a player playing for him.
Yeah.
But dope guy, you know.
Yeah,
coached an awesome team. We were extremely successful because we had that team chemistry.
Significant part of your life throughout the soccer journey, so
definitely.
Give him credit where it's due.
Then I started at U9 in soccer, so I was 8 years old playing club soccer.
Yeah.
And I had this old Portuguese dude.
Yeah.
His name Coach Santos, Vic Santos.
Yeah.
Awesome coach, incredible coach, best coach I've ever had in my life. And which was funny because I started playing for him at such a young age, and he was such an intense guy. Like, you know how the Portuguese are. Like, they're loud, they're angry. They say shit they shouldn't be saying in front of 8-year-old kids. So like I played
like
with him.
Mostly South Americans.
yeah, exactly. So I was, the Portuguese and Brazilians. But I played with him for up to like U11, I think.
Yeah.
And then at some point I was just like, if I mess up, man's just screaming in my face, and I'm a 10-year-old kid. I'm like, I don't want that. So I went and played on a club a little closer to me. And got.
I'm just messing with you.
I went to a club that was a lot closer to me. Like the other club, I was commuting like 45 minutes every day.
Commute. Sometimes the commute you gotta like.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. Like I'm 10 years old, and my parents are driving me everywhere. So like, it's a 45-minute drive to every practice, and it's like 3 times a week.
That shit's a commitment.
So like that, yeah. So we chose a team that was like a 15-minute commute.
Yeah.
Played for a guy named David Verdroyle, who used to play in the MLS, which was dope. He used to play on DC United. Not the best coach, insane at soccer. He was disgusting, obviously. Played in the MLS.
Yeah.
Not the best at coaching, but he definitely, he's definitely responsible for, the foot skills I have to this day. Because our practices were literally, you would have a grid, and there would be 5 lines of everyone on the team, and you would just run up and down that grid. Every cone you got, you did a move, went to the next cone, did a move, next cone, and there was 4 cones. You would get to the end, and you would just run back and do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, kind of that really professional
just over and over same damn thing every day.
That's what it is, man. That repetition, all those reps, man. Don't realize that muscle memory just. Yeah.
He knew what he was doing in that sense. Foot skills went from here to here, and within those 4 years I played with him.
Which is a lot, which is a lot.
Which is crazy. Wasn't the best at coaching the team together. That team wasn't. We weren't that special. We would win 4 or 5 games a season.
Let me ask you, what position you played?
So back then, every club team I played on, I was an outside mid.
Oh, my fault. Specifically, what position did that coach play?
I think he was a striker.
Striker? Yeah, another...
Which was weird, because he didn't teach us... He never coached us on finishing.
Yeah.
It was all about foot skills, all about technique, and that was it. He never really coached the team aspect and, the team gameplay, which is why I think the team lacked, because we just weren't a unit.
Yeah, the thing is, I can definitely point out with that, I believe, is just I think honestly that coach probably maybe the experience of coaching wasn't instilled yet, you know what I mean? It was definitely fresh to do.
He was an old guy. No, he wasn't a young guy though.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, especially with your position, dude, most and this isn't even to rash out any coach. Any coach can be fucking phenomenal. But when it comes to attack minded, you're not really seeing much of the field besides
that
behind. You know what I mean? So when honestly me and a couple of my boys back home kind of said mostly the best coaches that you're gonna find is really that defensive mid, a defender who sees the whole thing for how it is, you know what I mean? Or even
I agree. The best coaches are center backs.
Yeah, because you're just exactly. We literally said any defender or just midfield, you're literally seeing every play for what it is. Yeah, so you just understand I gotta go through here, gotta go through you just see the whole game for what it is, and that's how you really have a really understanding of everything.
So that was my coach. I think I played with him up to my sophomore year in high school.
Yeah.
And then I was I want to play on a better team. I'm sorry, but I got to that point where I was I want to play on a better team. Yeah. So I went back to that same coach I played for when I was in U10. Yeah. Who I was this man's too intense for me. I'm just a little kid. I want to play soccer. I don't want to worry about getting this man screaming in my face.
Yeah, for sure.
So then, luckily, I made the team. I started playing for him again, and obviously, I'm older now.
Yeah.
I fully believe. Yeah, I fully believe that like his disciplinary coaching style was so important for like not only me as a soccer player but me as a person. Like it just taught me how like if I mess up, someone's gonna be there to scream in my face and tell me what I'm doing wrong, and if that's happening, I just gotta sit there and listen to it because it's what I gotta be fixing. So that guy, like I can't deny that at all. He taught me so many life lessons because of that. Awesome coach. That team that I played on was an awesome team. I didn't play that much. I was probably arguably bottom 2 of the players in the pecking order on that team. And I loved that though. Like I loved being that kid that was grinding for any kind of playing time in practices. Mm-hmm. You know. So I played there from sophomore year up to senior year in high school. Loved that team. We had some crazy stories about playing like. So that was CFC. For anyone who knows, in Connecticut, one of the bigger clubs in Connecticut is CFC, Connecticut Football Club. Yeah. And we had one team that was called CFC United, and that team was like, they were a direct scouting team for New England Revolution. So like obviously when New England Revolution declares a partnership with a youth team, it gets kids from all over the state to be like, I'm playing for this team now. So I went to the tryouts and I was like, I'm going to shoot my shot with them. Obviously I didn't make it. Yeah. But we would play that team like every year because of the state cups. And that team was disgusting. They won nationals 2 years in a row. Yeah. Disgusting team. One year, I'm getting way off track about that coaching thing. Sure, don't worry about it. But 1 year we got drawn. CFC United. We're CFC Wolves. Yeah. So like they're just different names to describe different locations. We got drawn against them the first round. And we were just like, oh, sick. We get to play the team that won nationals. We were up 3-0 at halftime. Guess what happens? One kid who I used to play with at ODP on CFC United, disgusting striker. To this day, one of the best natural strikers I've ever seen play. Scores 4 goals against us in like 20 minutes. Yeah. One of them was a bike from outside the box. Jeez. Scored 4 goals on us, knocks us out of the cup, first round, and we were just like, you know, like we were there, we had it. We were like at halftime, all of us were like, you know, drunk with that emotion of thinking we're gonna knock the Nationals team out of the cup. We're winning this cup this year, and then we just got thrown out. And then the next year, coming my senior year of high school, luckily they got drawn on the opposite side of the table. Yeah. Went to the finals, had to play them in the state finals, and they shit on us. Not only did they shit on us once, but they shit on us twice, because that year we were playing a game. We got 30 minutes into the game and we were down 4-0. Lightning strikes like the building like 2 blocks away from us. Game gets called. So because we only played 30 minutes, they were like, that's not enough time to consider the game. Like if we got to half, they would have called the game there and just said they won. But we only got 30 minutes into the game, so they canceled the game. And they were like, we're just going to have a rematch next week. We play the game, fight it out, hold them 0-0 till half, and then we just get shit on again.
And then the snowball came in and said, let me finish the job.
It was crazy. That team was disgusting. Don't get me wrong. That CFC United team was no joke, but you know, we battled with them, and battling with them was so much fun. Every year it was so much fun knowing like at some point we're playing this team. Yeah. Yeah. Just a whole different level of soccer intelligence, really. Yeah. It's fun to play against those kids. Yeah. It is.
So, kind of back to that coach who
nailed it and marked. Yeah. Who was that for you? Because you started real late. Like, did you have any crazy coaches? Anyone who was really like...
To be honest, man, like, through my high school career, his name was Chuck Kostopoulos. And he actually came in during my junior year where I was on JV. And it was like just one of those where it was kind of like you really...
Oh, damn, wait, you were on JV junior year, you bum? Oh, my God.
Wait, no. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Yeah,
still junior year, sophomore year.
Sophomore year is when I started. Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
Fucking, so sophomore year. Yeah, first starting playing soccer. He comes in towards the end of the season and he becomes an assistant out of nowhere. And he kind of like, it was crazy because like, we're just finishing up our laps throughout the practices, you know what I mean? Just doing our runs. Crazy story about what happened at the end, but like, get our runs in, you know, he shows up, just watches, you know, our JV coach introduces freaking us to him towards the end. And like, I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, I'm just another assistant coach, like, cool, like, you know what I mean? I'll give him the same respect I would do with him, you know. It is what it is. Funny thing with that story at the end is one of my friends that I mentioned earlier ended up somehow fighting one of our teammates.
Yo, dude, you're such a hothead, bro. You
Not me, no.
Oh, no, not
my
you.
friend.
Oh, your friend fought someone else.
Fuck you mean? Fuck out of here.
Bro, you used to get so mad at every team we played, bro. I always thought you were going to be the kid to start some shit on the team that
no, bro. That's fucking Micah all the way.
Micah
took that fucking
Micah,
title.
You're a hothead, bro.
Yeah, it'll come out of me. No, I was just competitive and tight for losing back in my fucking days, bro. I was no hothead. I was pissed that no one took shit serious. Especially when you're losing fucking 3-0, like, and you're just giving up. That was my fucking problem. But back to this story, man. Yeah, one of my friends that I mentioned earlier ended up fighting some dude. Like the most innocent kid.
Oh my God.
And like, argued with the coach. Oh man, it was bad, man, but... Besides that, man, you know, just brush it off that practice, and then like a couple practices in, you know, Chuck would start like talking me through games, you know, kind of being like, oh, like giving me some tips, you know, here and there, like throughout the practices and stuff. And for some reason, I just felt like he just saw the difference in me, like the more potential in me than like the others. Not to be cocky or anything, but like, you know, then again, like keep in mind this is like my first year playing for a real like team, like in the high school, so it's just like I'm just doing whatever I can at my best ability, and like he just saw more, and he would always push me, give me tips, and even outside of practices he would help me, like, you know, like he'd be like, all right, let's get some drills in or all that. So going into junior year, like, just with all the training, you know, the usual, like, after fall, all right, now you're looking for some indoor sessions with the team, and then, or whether you got club or not, you know, just get through your grind session. So the whole time, you know, I'm grinding, doing his thing, following some of his programs, and then obviously doing my thing with club. And that summer, man, really grit down. Fucking just took all the shit he learned and just like really applied it through all the training sessions throughout the summer, and it just kind of really put me in another level. And I remember he was telling the varsity coach, like, hey, like, just wait till you see this kid, He didn't believe it that much, you know. My high school varsity coach didn't believe it as much, but then the minute I show up to practice, the minute I show up to fucking tryouts, like, it's go time, man. It's go time, you know?
Yeah, you need those people.
And
people
like,
who have that kind of drive, whether it's practice or on a field, you notice them immediately.
Yeah, and like, not to get like, you know, sentimental at all, but like, you know, like, I was living with my dad through this time in high school. So, like, but he was always working. And, like, I'll say this now, like, just throughout those sessions, like, with soccer and all that stuff, like, he really kind of took on to that father figure for me, like, when it came to sports, because at the end of the games, I didn't really have anyone to go to, or, you know, I would just pack up my stuff and be like, all right, let's see you, coach, and have a good night. So, like, as far as my soccer career, like, for, like, during that high school time going into, like, college, like, he was just that man for me, because, like, you know, inside and outside, we always had that good, strong relationship where it was just kind of like, we know what we need to do to get you to here, but let's figure out through it step by step. And he'd always, like, you know, like, I think most people always knew, like, even, like, kind of how you said it, like, you took it as me being hard, like, I would always be hard on myself. So, like, whenever we get a loss or whenever we, you know, I would just be like, what the fuck, like, just be down the whole time, you know. Yeah. But it's just like, it was just that in me, because, like, I just couldn't stand, like, especially, like, most L's, I just couldn't stand just being, like, content with just being like, fuck, like, we lost, all right, let's go to the next game. No, I will think about that game for, like, the rest of the week, like, you know.
Yeah, see, that's where I feel like our mindsets are slightly different, because I knew for a fact you dwelled on all the losses, and playing at Becker, like,
yeah, you know, that's
not an easy thing to do.
See, the thing with me is, like, you know, like, I'm coming to college, like, keep in mind, like, I didn't go straight to college after high school, so, like, I was excited when I got to realize I get to play college soccer. I didn't give a fuck where it was, whether it would be the worst team, if anything. But, like, when I came in, I was just excited. I was like, holy shit, like, I finally fucking... Most people just give up, go work, or fucking do stuff. Like, I just really kept believing, like, I gotta play. Yeah. Eventually it happened, so, like, that was just, you know...
Yeah. The one piece of advice that Portuguese coach Santos gave me, that I was one of the main reasons why I came to Becker, was that he always preached to us that you go to a team where you're going to make an immediate impact on. Don't try to get yourself onto a D1 team where you're going to get redshirted until your senior year and then play and then think, oh wow, I went here for 3 years just to say, oh great, I get to play one season with this team, you know. So when I went to Becker, shout out to Keith and Keith and Markins, the two coaches that were here my freshman year.
Yeah, a lot of people knew about Markins.
Oh yeah, Markins was a clown, dude. Great guy. Keith was an awesome coach though. Keith was a great guy. So they went to one of my tournaments with that club team, that CFC team, and I messaged them. And I was like, you know, I sent them an email and I was like, hey, look, I'm interested in Becker because they had a program and they also had exercise science.
Yeah. So
I messaged them. They came to one of my tournaments, which was up in Lancaster.
Yeah.
Right north of Worcester. So
yep. Well,
we're real close to them.
Yep.
So they came up, watched me play, and, like, immediately after that game, we played a Canadian. That game that we played, we got killed 3-0 by a Canadian Academy team. So
shout out the Canadians.
Yeah, they were nasty, but, like, by far the best team at that tournament. We played them. You know, I didn't feel like I had the best showing because we were playing this nasty team. But they came up to me afterwards and they were like, you want to, we'll offer you a starting spot right now. And I was like, no way. So, like, obviously, like, I kept in contact with them, and I was like, this is where I'm going to go. They're telling me I got a starting spot if I come to here. And sure enough, freshman year, started immediately. And my coach was preaching, like, you're only going to get better if you have that experience on the field. And that's one of the biggest things that, like, I hold with me to this day. Like, I'm glad I didn't go somewhere where I wouldn't have been playing until my senior year.
Yeah, and it's like, it's really, like, a different, like, perspective. Like, I know, like, for sure, like, you know, this is only the first podcast and stuff, but, like, you know, eventually, like, we get we can definitely get like people around the area of Worcester or like outside and really, like, I think with people's experience, it's not really far off for our opinion because it's like you said, it's really a different perspective. Like someone could be in that position that you literally say where it's just like they get registered and then oh great, like I get to play 1 year with the season and it's just like.
And then there goes your talent that, you know, you're
like,
good enough to get on that D1
it's the
team.
in between part where it's just like people will question, is it worth playing anymore? Yeah. It really sometimes comes down to that, you know?
Yeah. Going back to that mental state thing, I think that's where I said that we draw the line between each other is like you were always so defeated after a loss. Yeah. And for me, it was always like I never really felt defeated after a loss. I always just kind of was like, all right, I'm just going to do whatever I can next time to make sure that doesn't happen. I never really dwelled on it. I just knew next time I step on that field, I got something to fire me through that next practice or whatever it was. Yeah. But, you know.
And, like, crazy thing is, like, was the heated moment, but it's funny because, it's the weirdest thing, but when I got heated throughout the game, I wouldn't really take it on anyone, but the craziest thing was I played significantly better. Like, that, It really hit me. It really drove, like, it was the weirdest thing because, like, especially, like, not to diss on Becker, man, but, like, you get that first goal against us. And I think something just switches in my head where it's just like, fuck this shit. But I carried that 10 times harder. I carried that through on high school because I understood those losses. Yeah. And I didn't take all L's all my fucking life, man. We won a fucking district champ, so I'm chilling with that. But, you know, like, I've experienced the other side of the story when it's not always about the wins, you know? So I would always carry that fire through me, like, especially when I played, and it's just...
That's one of the reasons why I loved playing with you, because it was like when you see one of your teammates, like you can tell when that switch flips and someone just gets 10 times more intense than they already were, and that makes me want to play much more intense. Like back on that CFC team, this was the team I was telling you about before. We had 4 die-hard defenders who, like, if they saw someone in the midfield get tackled hard, they were coming in for one of the most dirty tackles you're ever gonna see. Yeah. You know, going into that next challenge on that player that made that dirty tackle on us, 10 times harder than that tackle originally.
And it was the same way my junior year on varsity. There were moments in games, which I know some of my teammates back in can really assure this, that if at some moment when we just knew, like, oh, it's going to be kind of this game, sluggish, not really getting anything, bro. Tackles. Yeah. Tackles. One of our boy goes down, good luck for you next play.
Dude, that's exactly how it was for me.
Now, but, like, the craziest thing is, it's like, yeah, call it reckless. But at the same time, like, that's, like... Just think of it on the other side of the team. Like, holy shit! Like, I gotta think of the next. I don't know what this guy's gonna do to me next play. They don't want to do no step over fancy shit.
But that's the thing, dude. My Portuguese coach always used to say, "You make your first tackle the hardest you can, and that person's gonna be thinking about it the whole game." And it's true, it's dirty, but like that's Portuguese soccer for you. You watch the Portuguese league play, the professional leagues play. There's some dirty
yeah.
There's some bad boys in that league who are doing some dirty things.
Yeah.
And that's part of the big reason why, I was leading yellow card, got the leading in yellow cards for Becker.
My man Pepe himself,
representing all 4 years.
Representing the Nationals, fucking.
Yeah.
Doing what he's known for, fucking, just fucking going out there. Yeah. Oh my God, man.
Yeah. But on that note, we're going to call it quits here today. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey,
if you made it this far, awesome. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be trying to put these out every Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I try to just get it more consistent, and anyone looking to join the podcast, feel free to either message me or Matt either through Snapchat. You can even get in touch with me through Instagram, Snap, or if you have my number, shoot me a text. We'll definitely make a fucking available time for you to come in.
We'll have links in the description for anyone who's looking to get in contact, anyone who wants to be on the podcast, anything like that. And at some point, we're probably going to move to shooting these live on Twitch. So again, you're probably going to find the same channel, WooBuilt, over on twitch.tv/WooBuilt. And that's where you'll find us doing this live.
Yes.
Other than that,
it's your boy.